Right now, Atlantans showing out in huge numbers to let Palestinians know they are not alone. Demonstrators tonight marching in the streets to show the world the violence happening in the Middle East is unacceptable. CBS 46's Sierra Cummings was there, and she joins us live in Atlanta to break down this international crisis. Sierra, good evening.
Good evening. At its height, about 600 protesters lined up here along Spring Street, intentionally right in front of the Israeli Consulate. First, they're demanding the U.S. end all weapon sales to Israel, but overall, they want the world to know what's happening. From Palestine to Atlanta, protesters calling for an end of U.S. weapon aid to Israel after the violence enters week 2.
We want to make sure that our voices are heard here and that they know that they're not alone over there.
This month, Israel began its evictions of more than a dozen Palestinian families in a disputed territory in East Jerusalem. The nation calls it a private real estate matter. Activists call it a human rights matter, alleging ethnic cleansing.
I'm just feeling really angry because it's been it's our land, it's like our culture. They're trying to wipe it all out.
The fighting led Israel to issue airstrikes targeting who they say were Hamas terrorists, but instead civilians were often the injured and killed. Atlanta demonstrators, many with loved ones overseas, now demanding
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Palestine be free. Meanwhile, the Israeli Consulate, where groups marched today, says Israel is not going anywhere and will never stop protecting itself.
It's unfair to the residents of Gaza who are prisoners in a space not much bigger than Georgia.
And at the time of the protests here this afternoon, the consulate was completely empty. But the consul did issue us this statement saying, in part, by demonstrating against Israel, demonstrators are further emboldening a terror organization that causes damage to the Palestinian people themselves. Live in Atlanta, I'm Sierra Cummings, CBS 46 News.